Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legends Symbiosis, where today we're starting a new game on Endless with the newest version of the Endless Legend community patch, and we're just gonna try again. I haven't changed any of the game settings, but I like to show them at the beginning of each game so people know. And let's get back in here. So a bunch of things went wrong last time. Whenever you experience a loss or a failure or a setback, it's important to realize that there's probably some information to be gleaned there. So, what can we glean from the last game? Well, first of all, I don't want to be the guy who was like, it was bad luck, but we did have some significant elements of bad luck. Number one, most obvious, starting next to the Forgotten always sucks. It doesn't necessarily cost you a lot. If you deal with the Forgotten quickly, you can make it not expensive. But it does force you into dealing with the Forgotten quickly, which disables other paths that you might want to take, which might be more profitable. And like if our neighbor had been somebody more reasonable, or like, I don't know, the cult or something, we would have had a way better game from that alone. The second piece of bad luck that we got was that volcanic regions, in my experience, and admittedly somewhat limited experience, tend to be very strategic resource heavy. But of the 3 volcanic regions that we had, none of them had, most of our regions didn't even have a normal amount of strategic resources in them, much less the extra deposits that I've seen many times. So that was unfortunate. And we got into a couple of positions, right? Like some tough positions because of the fact that our areas were so devoid of resources. But the fact that our areas were so devoid of resources meant that it was more important for us to settle out into resources, which I did not do. I got too focused on the war, and to be fair, I did have to focus on the war, but I got too focused on the war. And I let it dampen my expansion. We just completely stopped building settlers after a certain point. Let me make a save here before I do anything. Kapaku again. Words is hard. Sometimes I don't words that good. So we gotta remember to continue being aggressive with our expansion, not to get the tunnel vision. Also, there were some smaller mistakes in actual battle stuff, but I'm more worried about the larger strategic errors. What we did learn is that the Kapaku faction quest seems to be pretty easy to press forward, so especially a building-based victory, like a wonder victory, might be a reasonable thing for us to pursue here. So let's just get moving. What do we want to do? We want to look around our home region a little bit before we make any big decisions. Okay. So we have Silix in our home region, which is cool. Silix are a good assimilate, even if we don't necessarily need that unit very much. Let's have our hero pop out and search a couple of these ruins. Obviously prioritizing ruin searches with your hero for XP purposes. And this right here is why you search as many ruins in your home region as you can on that first turn before settling, because occasionally you will get this quest, which is going to give you free stuff for colonizing the region you were already going to colonize. So that's cool. We'll be able to run a spice booster right away, which is nice. If we want to. We might not. 30 dust and 2 science. I'm pretty sure you can only get that quest once. So once you get it, it is no longer critical to search all the ruins immediately. 40 dust and 7 science. Okay. Send the stone sentinel out this way. We have a little bit of titanium. That's nice. So where do we want to put down our city here? And I guess you can go and grab this. Nothing. Okay. We had a pretty good set of searches there. I am inclined to settle over here between the steel stalks and the glass steel. We get the bonus resource points from the unspoiled ruin. That's another 3 science. Plus the science from this tile. If we don't get these, this is actually a pretty low science area down here. Alternatively, we could settle over there. Although we cannot get there this turn. We could settle right here, because that's between the 2 anomalies, but the problem with that is that this settle has 2 tiles that we don't get to benefit from. The value of the anomalies might actually offset that, but it also would be really awkward to expand out from this area. Let's have a look at the actual resource outputs. This gives us 21,614, a baseline of 70 approval, which means boosted output, but worth noting, actually 0 food, versus a 221,39 with 10 approval. This is more science and a lot more dust, but no food at all is pretty harsh. Then again, we can see in the bottom right corner there, we actually have a very slow first winter. So we could just highly prioritize seed storage. 21 industry is a lot. That'll let us get through our Founders Memorial quickly, get that seed storage quickly. Like, we probably will not research Mill Foundry right away with this start. We'll go seed storage first. Or maybe not first. I might want the ability to talk to villages, but seed storage quickly. I think this is actually where we're going to put down, and then, like, this can be a golem camp. This gives us a better expansion. We just have more space. Yeah, I think I like this one. We are definitely going to have to put down the seed storage, though. So, build a glass steel extractor on the glass steel deposit in order to get out the weapon, and that means... So we know there's a glass steel deposit and a titanium deposit. This is a little bit more like what I'm used to seeing in volcanic regions. So we'll get a crossbow from doing that quest, which is pretty cool. Our hero now can't use it, but we may end up with more military heroes in the future. So we're not going to pop the spices right away because our food output is very poor, and we don't need the approval. We'll wait until the seed storage is finished, then we'll use this. So what does our tech rate look like? If we were to go language square first, it would be 4 turns. We can speed these up a little bit, remember, thanks to the fact that we find science in ruins. I think we're going to do it this way, maybe. You know, maybe we really do want to go cultivation immediately. We'll be a little slower to pick up quests this way, but... Yeah, I think getting the seed storage online right away is really important, because, like, we can't move this guy off of food until that happens. Alright, that's the plan. Let's have a quick look at our deeds. Be the first to destroy 10 armies in order to get tactical training, so we're not going to get that. If this was the version of this quest that requires you to pacify 8 villages, it might have been worth rethinking the language square thing, but did not happen. Be the first to activate 4 luxury boosters in order to get 130 emeralds. Not exactly mission critical there. Although it is nice to have 130 something to sell. 2,000 influence earned from the beginning of the game gets you negotiation tactics, and be the first to attack and defeat 10 armies of other empires to get Eye of the Farthinker. I think we're out of the running on all 4 of those, frankly. The Eye of the Farthinker one, at least, is not worth thinking about right now. Okay, this region's interesting. So we need to get we either need to get our extractors up quickly, or we need to find some strategic resources in a ruin for the first step of our faction quest. Probably we will throw one of these on the queue next, and I mean, it may as well be the glass steel extractor, I guess, since we're going to need that for that quest anyway. But we don't really care about the other resource from that quest. Okay, we'll get some wine when we do this, which is awesome. So, in general, I think titanium is more useful. Yeah, let's do that, and I think I may rush this out just so that we get the food from it immediately. And that'll have our titanium extractor finishing the same turn as cultivation. I think that's a pretty good way to go here. Alright, let's continue to look around. Man, there are no more ruins out here. Where are there we go. There's some. Alright, a spice deposit. It's interesting. Oh, this is a very interesting location. Those are good anomalies, and they both have approval on them. And there is another Silix village here. This is a Silix region, and there's a green player right there. So, there's also going to be competition for that area. I think that is probably our second settle. I do want to point out that I think our starting region is pretty weak this game. it only has 3 anomalies in it, or 4, I guess, 4 total anomalies in it, which is a little unusually low for a starting region. But I think we're going to be able to make good. We're going to be able to make some good progress from it. At least I hope so. Okay. And there's a glass steel deposit here. Yeah, this is an interesting region. Let's see if we can figure out who Green is. Build the geomic labs in one of your cities and get the Empire Mint for free. That's actually excellent, because that is a tech we would certainly have researched anyway. Oh. Green is probably another Kapaku, huh? Okay, that's certainly interesting. We found ourselves 40 dust and 7 science. At this point in the game, 7 science is like a pretty meaningful amount. And I think we are, just as last time, going to be using Makani Che as a military commander. This is very well suited to the task. There we go. There's another thing to search. You can see this up here. So there's some black soil. Okay, 5 titanium. That's going to move our quest forward. There's another volcanic region not too far north. This black earth will be really, really good for us, growth-wise, once we volcano form it a little bit, obviously. And now that we've found the titanium, that'll give us the line that we were looking for. Yep, volcano form 10 tiles for glass steel and some spices. And here is... no, Broken Lords. Interesting. I wonder if that means that this is not their first region. It almost must, right? Do I want... I think I do. I think I do want the seed storage done badly enough to finish that before the titanium extractor. Well, we don't have enough resources here to volcano form 10 tiles. So, yeah, I guess get that done. We'll delay the seed storage one more turn. This guy is, now that we've... I wanted to move away from the Broken Lords quickly, but now that we know kind of what's up, I'm going to have him turn around and start the volcano forming process. So the question is, what are the 10 tiles? We know we're going to drop a volcano former right there. Do we volcano form in this region some more, or do we volcano form over here? Figure out who purple is. We definitely need to drop that second volcano former quickly. But it's going to be 2 turns before we're back in optimal position to drop the first one. So we have until then, basically, to drop it without losing any time. Let's see if we can... ah, that's a shame. Kind of hoping I'd be able to make it around there a little bit. Okay. Interesting. So we have an Alayi neighbor. Sometimes you can work with the Alayi. It's going to be hard for us to get pearls, though. Because they know the positions of all of the pearls, and they will be hunting them aggressively. I sort of want to drop a volcano former around here somewhere just to get it going. Like, honestly, the tile I'm standing on right now is not horrible. It has the black earth and the bonus resources from the ruin. Yeah, let's just put one down right here. And then in 2 turns, we'll have another point of titanium, and we can build the other volcano former out of that. Let's make sure we pop that wine. Get up to fervent. Okay, that took a turn off the seed storage anyway. Yeah, I don't think our starting position is great, but I think there are a lot of good things happening in the beginning of this game. And all the science that we're finding is nice, too. Alright, so the extractor is done. It'll pull its first point of resources out of the ground next turn. Well, we've properly met green, which could be bad. So, my experience of the Green. My experience with the Broken Lord AI is that they tend to want to get into a fight with a neighbor early. The Alayi, a little bit less so. So, it's not always the case that they have the same personality. We probably should not rely too much on my memory of previous encounters. But I'm hopeful that we'll be left alone by purple. I'm wondering if, like, settling here and here and here ends up making sense. Got a lot more exploration to do yet. Okay, so our hero is in position to talk to that minor faction. Let's make this thing and put it down. And then run away. We'll be able to talk to these Silix. Somebody's going to have to chat with the Silix in our home region, so I guess our hero can come back and do that. You have things to get us. Like 40 dust, which is fine. We actually have a lot of money right now. And I can see a minor faction village there, so let's just get in position to have some chats. We'll build our geomic lab, and then maybe the glass steel. And once the seed storage is finished, we can actually move people around a little bit, although I might just keep people on food for a while. We're going to keep people on food. Do we want to throw the husbandry center in? So it would certainly facilitate the capital becoming powerful quickly, and if it turns out that green and purple are both feeling a little hostile, it would be awfully nice for this city to be able to build us out of that jam. That said, it's also 150 industry right now at a time when 150 industry is tough to come by, but we don't need the Empire Mint immediately. This is not how I usually play. But let's try this out. Let's go really deep on food with these guys right away. Try to make up for our low food beginnings. And I think now is a reasonable time to pop the spices, maybe? We're about to have a second point of population on food. Let's chat with you guys. Colonize our region. Okay, maybe. What about you? Give us 50 dust. Okay, I think that's reasonable. Like, it's very likely that we're going to want to settle this region, right? It would like us to bring our hero to talk to their other village. That's, like, just very, very doable. It's not going to be the first thing our hero does. He has to talk to these guys first. And then you would like 8 glass steel. That could happen. I don't know. It's not super likely. Okay, this region also has emeralds, and it's possible there's another minor faction village over here. It's also the case that the blue player is right there, so let's be wary of that. I do not like this thing where we are completely surrounded by enemies. Too many players, too close to us. By the way, the volcano formers, I believe, can be removed by other players, so there's some possibility that the smart thing to do would have been to leave this guy over here to play defense, but I'm a little worried that his presence would actually maybe be more likely to draw the Broken Lords in, because boy oh boy did they love to fight. So if we move you over to here, it doesn't affect much of anything. So do I want to do the spices now? Or do we want to wait on these spices until the husbandry center is done and go really hard on food? Actually, I guess we also have to ask ourselves, how soon do we want to settle? Because there's no sense in building this husbandry center and then immediately building a settler, right? Maybe the right play is a turn of production, a turn of hard production toward the husbandry center. Then, when we have 2 people, we build a settler. At least get our second region up. We got influence from the quest we just did, from the first part of that haunt quest. We'll probably be able to afford a 40 influence First Empire plan. And then we can look toward a third settle sometime later. But that way we have 2 cities out. One of them is growing rapidly. Yeah, I kind of like that plan. Alright, and I think I'm inclined to go, like, fast mercenary market here. I guess it would be weird not to pick up Mill Foundry. We should get Mill Foundry. We should have the ability to build a Mill Foundry. But mercenary market, like, we have a lot of dust. I guess it's also possible that maybe we just want to use the dust. I'm gonna unqueue that. Possible we'll just want to use the dust to buy buildings. But early governors are powerful. Okay, so now we want to get a settler built. And then once the settler is done, we can talk about more food. Green settled toward us, which is a pretty good sign that they intend to attack. It's not a guarantee the way it is in Civ, but it's similar. And these guys would like us to locate the Haunts village in Mok and destroy it. Mok is this way, maybe? I was worried that it was going to be up here, but that is not the same region. It's usually an adjacent region. It's probably this one. We can't see the minor faction here or the name of the region at all, but I bet it's down there. Oh, he's not quite going to get that next turn. That's a shame. I'm going to have this guy come down here and chat with these dudes. I want to try to, like, keep our military somewhat close. These Broken Lords, you know. Pacify the Sisters of Mercy. Return to this village with an army that contains a minimum of 3 minor faction units. That is just very unlikely to happen anytime soon. Okay, so we do have a second Silix village in this region. Which means that we would have 3 Silic villages in total if we wanted to assimilate them, which is 1.5 extra points of resources per turn out of our extractors, which I like quite a bit. Yeah, I do think this is our second settle. I think we want to prevent either blue or green from settling us all the way into a corner. I'm going to fall back and have a quick talk with the Kazanji here. Okay, this is a little bit less likely to happen than it has been in some previous games because this region is adjacent to both green and blue, but it's possible that we will get 10 Titan Bones for free off of that. I'm certainly not going to put any effort into trying to scare them off, because that's not going to work. Alright, well we have some idea of our surroundings. We don't need to know too much about the one region we don't know much about because it's already been settled. Yeah, on lower difficulties, or without the Endless Legend community patch installed, I would often try to settle my first city, or settle my second city, my first additional settle, somewhere around turn 20, so that you get the cheap Empire plan for only having one city, and then you gain territory immediately. But I don't think it's safe to do that on Endless, because you can sometimes end up so far behind everybody else economically. Alright, so we've pacified those haunts. When we move into that region, that'll be cool. And, oh, we found Lust for Loot. Alright, so use a hero-led army to search... Ooh, that's far away. Alright, well, good news is our hero's really fast. So we're going to pin Lust for Loot. I do so love this quest. Alright, so we're going to get a whole bunch of glass steel. That's useful. We have titanium income already. And now the question is, what do we do with this guy? I don't know that scouting... I guess scouting down here would be useful, and our hero's kind of busy. Eight turns until the Dust Eclipse. So it'll definitely be beneficial to us to have a good sense of where all of the temple ruins that are around us are. We can hit as many of them as possible. And it probably does end up being the case that we want mercenary market, right? Because we're going to have a ton of money. Maybe we do it like this. That'll actually get the husbandry center done faster, probably. Okay, that haunt village got killed by somebody else, which means that we are not going to get a free... we're not going to get a free pacify here. So we have two options. We could pay 170 dust to just buy them off, and the benefit of that, obviously, is that we get the point of population immediately, or we could fight the village and then rebuild. That's a pretty expensive prospect, and I think I'm absolutely willing to pay 170 dust for that point of population. Alright, so our volcano former's finished. Got ourselves some spices and some glass steel. And now we need to assimilate a minor faction. Well, it turns out that we just gained access to one. So now the question becomes, do we want an empire plan badly enough to hold off on pushing our faction quest forward? And I think the answer is no. I think I'm cool with just assimilating these guys next turn. And we can figure it out from there. Oh, also we should research things. 7 turns until mercenary market, and that's when the dust eclipse fires. Like, there's definitely something to be said for, like, going public library first, because obviously we need the science. It'll be 178 dust. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to commit really hard on this. Once again, let's unqueue you as a recenter and then into, like, Geomic Labs to get our research rate up, because we're falling behind. But we've got a lot of really good growth going. There's a lot of things going right here. So I'm trying not to spend too much time in their territory. Of course, they ran an army up. Oh! They think they're going to settle this region. Well, the good news is we have the settle on this coming turn. We're going to have to move quickly. Because they're gonna be in the region, and if they see our settler, it's possible they'll put the city down immediately. We definitely want to go ahead and pop the food now. Gonna go ahead and assimilate our Silix as well. What did these guys want? They wanted 8 glass steel. Okay, go ahead and pacify them while you're here. 2 points of population just waiting for us. And you will continue to feel out the surroundings. Kind of want to... I guess there's not a lot of value in having him run down here when we're going to have our hero run through that area anyway. So yeah, keep exploring this way. See if we can find anything fun and new. These guys would like 50 of our dust. Even if we had 50 dust left, I wouldn't do that, because I don't think that pacifying this region is going to be valuable to us. I would absolutely have been willing to take some stuff for free, if they were willing to offer that. I'm certainly not putting any effort into that. Okay, do we want to... No, I think I want to stay on industry. We have stuff that has to get built. We'll move back to food after we finish the husbandry center. Probably after we finish the Geomic Labs as well. And if I'm doing it in that order, then we should finish the Geomic Labs first. Plus science is good. Okay, so we know what we have to do here. Let's just try to do it very quickly. So you have the order to move off of the tile. Alright, as soon as we enter the region, we can click the colonize button. Come on. Oh, colonize here. There we go. I may have clicked poorly once or twice there, but the problem got resolved. Alright, so we got our assimilate a minor faction thing done. Now we must search ruins in Mok and Parandy. This region is, in fact, Mok, which we were pretty sure was the case. It doesn't have to be my hero, right? We can do this and just you know, fight this guy with the help of the city garrison. Then that ruin, probably the best way to get that ruin is going to be, I was going to say on the way back from this one, but we may not actually want to walk back. We might want to teleport our hero onto another unit. So I'm not actually sure what the best play over there is. Also worth noting, there's no food in this city, so we're still 11 turns from winter at least. If I do this, 3-turn seed storage. Okay, yeah, good enough. It would take us 2 full turns of movement to get over there. It might actually be better to have the Stone Sentinel do it. And did we talk to the minor faction in this region? Yeah, we did. I don't remember what they wanted, but it sort of doesn't matter. Okay, this is good. We should definitely meet Pink. Alright, so let's do this. We want to make sure that our Stone Sentinel engages in this combat as little as possible. The militia do all the lifting. I want to risk taking any real damage. And hey, look at them, like, repositioning themselves in a sensible way, making sure to get maximum morale bonus on the guy who's attacking first. I wasn't going to spend any mental bandwidth on that at all, but it's nice that they just went and did the good job. All right, can we get this Stone Sentinel over here? If we lose him doing this, I think that's a totally acceptable outcome. We are kicking ass on our faction quest. We're really getting it done. And it looks like we might be able to get over there this turn. So yeah, I guess green just you don't usually see the AI settle in a volcanic region if they're not Kapaku, but since the Broken Lords don't need food anyway, it's probably like pretty reasonable. And volcanic regions do have a lot of upside if you don't have to eat. So we still actually might be able to get Mercenary Market and purchase ourselves a fairly early hero. It really depends on how the Dust Eclipse goes, but I'm hopeful. I'm going to hit the button here, and I'm trying to get this guy to that ruin as quickly as possible. Or he gets interrupted. Hey, he didn't actually search that. Search it. There you go. Okay, we did it. We got some Moonleaf. Unfortunately, not enough Moonleaf. And then there are ruins in Dean that have to get explored, and they will totally get explored. That'll happen. This guy needs to get back into my territory as fast as possible next turn. We completed this quest. We did complete this quest. Unfortunately, 10 Titan Bones, a little bit too slow. The wine's run out. So we're still happy. And we will be able to refire our Spice Booster when it runs out at this rate. If we could just find a little bit more Moonleaf or Titan Bones, we could run either of those boosters, which would be pretty cool. Okay, so you're building stuff, you're on your thing. Can we move these people over to food without... I definitely want the Husbandry Center to finish next turn. Okay, so we got some good growth going there. Honestly, we're doing pretty well on population, like being able to get a guy out and then have population points coming in as quickly as we do when we settled in a location that had actually 0 food. It's pretty good. We've done an alright job here. Alright, green is going to be mad at us about the Common Frontier. Worth noting, they settled into us, not the other way around, and we're going to have to retreat from some battles real quick here. I almost want to just fight that. We're going to have to act very quickly on our turn here. I think probably the play is... How do we want to manage this? What I'm thinking with almost wanting to fight this is that I don't know that they'll actually bring in the reinforcements. And I think that the order they're in right now is actually the order they would come in. Basically, I'm like wondering if we can trick them into losing their settler. Probably not. Probably the Endless Legend community patch boosted AI is too smart. But I wonder if this guy's dead anyway. Oh no, this army doesn't have any movement. Okay, I was thinking, like, we retreat from this, they don't use these guys as reinforcements, and then they just have these guys run over and kill me, but they don't have movement. So let's go ahead and retreat. We'll be able to make it back to our territory at the beginning of our turn. Everything will be okay there. Yeah, and Broken Lord units don't heal naturally anyway, so they don't suffer the no health regen penalty from the volcanic terrain either. It's actually, like, really good for them. Alright, you get to search me a ruin and get me 30 more dust, which is cool, absolutely. Let's see if we can meet Pink. There's basically no downside to meeting a player who's this far away from you. If you meet a player who's close to you, that enables them to declare war, which can have some downsides. But meeting a player who's on the other side of an enemy is, like, perfectly safe. Alright. You gotta execute quickly here. It would really suck to have this hero get wounded out. Search and unassign. Okay. Good cowardice. Got ourselves 40 dust and also 15 glass steel, and there's 15 more wine up here. So we just reassign our hero onto this army and head in that direction. Then we can meet Pink sort of on the way. Okay, they are roving clans. That is roving clans architecture. I love their like the colorful little rainbow banners. I think if we walk adjacent to that, I think it has a vision of adjacent tiles. So if we walk adjacent to it, we should meet them. Alright, and then over here we have like some more basic infrastructure stuff to build up. We could go for a quick museum, but I don't really want to pull people off of food. Like, I really want to push our population as hard as possible. If we were to put everybody on industry, nope, we would not get a one-turn empire mint either way, so let's just keep the food pile rolling as fast as possible. 3 turns until the dust eclipse. So we don't... I'm remembering correctly that we don't have to use our hero to search this, right? I don't think so. Maybe if I step directly on the tile? Nope, we still have not met Pink. Okay, well, I'd really like to, but I'm certainly not going to slow down our progress on Lust for Loot. Defeat this village, or defeat the army of the Goran Alpha Male with just your hero in order to earn 10 grass silk, which won't actually give you any benefit at all right now. I think I'll skip it, thanks. Okay, I'm going to run over here and attack this guy because in that position he spawned in, we get both of the city militias. Which seems great. And you are just going to... I mean, he can be part of the battle. There's no reason not to join the battle, but we have to be a little cautious about it is all. These guys each have only 1 point of movement. So, like, if we go here and here, 2 of them don't get to attack. And then we also don't deal any damage, which is crappy. Okay. Now we have enough units that we can completely prevent them from doing stuff. And you are last, so you can step in and attack without taking damage on counter. We got pretty lucky with the second ruin for the quest spawning in between our cities like that. Okay, so I think the deal is... You still attack there, you still attack there. Like... This guy is the last person to act before their turn, so that should work. Right, sweep strike back. I'm not used to these guys having sweep strike back. Okay, we'll refigure our angles of attack here a little bit. You get him. Let's see. You're first. That sucks. That's the worst possible outcome, is your first. Okay, you do that. So then that guy's attack is burned. Then you also attack this. There's no way to have this guy not do a sweep strike back, unfortunately. So yeah, you also attack him. You attack him. You attack this guy from this position, unfortunately, and then you move to here so that next turn you won't get swept. I just kind of assumed he would have the movement distance, but he totally didn't. Alright, well. Now he will, but now it's not safe anymore. So that guy's attack is spent by the time this guy's turn comes around. Then this guy's attack is spent. Okay, that's safer. This actually gets us not swept at all. All of their counterattacks only damage one unit now. And I believe we just do the same thing. Wait, did our initiative order change? With all of our units being tied on initiative, it may be that it's, the tie is resolved differently from turn to turn? Okay. Well, of course, all of our militia will completely regenerate next turn, so we'll just finish them off then. With, some very, very low damage potential on these starting units, unfortunately. Alright, here we have some actual growth. That doesn't speed that up at all. Okay. Probably I want to leave people in this arrangement then, because I want to be producing as much food as possible. But you know, we do have other stuff we have to get built. Maybe we do move over onto industry. Yeah, and I think at this point maybe I stopped spending dust on buildings because I want to be able to hire governors, which will be important both for increasing the production capacities of these cities and also defense. Defense will be pretty important. And we're gaining a point of population every turn in the capital, which is awesome. We're definitely going to want to put out another settler. And probably not that far away from now. My thought is maybe like up here. We'll just drop a volcano former up there. This location is fine, but not amazing. Yeah, that might be how we want to do it. That could be this guy's job next turn. Alright, so over here we definitely want to move as much as possible. There are players who know our current position. We need to get away from there before they decide to attack us. And here we definitely want to attack right now before this guy moves anywhere. Alright, so next turn we'll be able to finally search that. Oh, if I had taken Agile Mover before moving, we would have been able to do it this turn. I should have looked at how much XP he had so that I knew whether or not it was reasonable to execute that move before leveling. Alright, well the good news is this will be a lot easier now that there's only two of them. So yeah, you guys just move to there. They started way further back out of cowardice. You get him from this side, you get him from that side. The good news is that getting Sweep Strike back, I don't think changed anything at all. Like, it didn't actually hurt us very much. Who's first? You're first. Alright, I'm going to have you attack this guy from this side. Oh, the guy who's second is all the way back here. That's a little awkward. So I guess we either have to accept some sweep strike backs here, or we have to just not hit them with all of our units. You know what? Let's just get it done quickly. We'll take the extra damage. Because again, these guys are just going to completely regenerate next turn. Just have to make sure the Stone Sentinel doesn't take a lot of extra damage. Alright, first this turn is this guy. Yep, those are totally fine. Can we maybe actually kill them this turn? Like, do any amount of damage at all? There we go. Well, we're doing really well on our faction quest pace overall, but that took an embarrassingly long time, that particular step. Alright, so we got ourselves access to the Coney School of Elite Riders. This is where we stall, because we must build the Coney School of Elite Riders, but we're still in Era 1. But it's cool to have gotten so much of that done so quickly. So we're going to go over here and drop ourselves a Volcano Former for the near future. What did these guys want? Oh. They want to be bribed, is what they want. And I think we are indeed going Mercenary Market. So the assignment cooldown on our hero is 3 turns. This first eclipse is going to be quite short. I think the plan... we're hoping for favorable confluxes, right? But the plan may be to just have this guy drop off the thing and then run back down and grab those 2 ruins. And the ruin we're searching right now is merely unspoiled, but there is a temple ruin over there. First Dust Eclipse is not going to be great for us, but it turns out we have so much money that it doesn't have to be. Alright, so we got 15 wine, and then it was empty beyond that, which is crappy. Purple has activated 4 luxury boosters. This was luxury booster number 3. I mean, we're definitely doing this, by the way. Yeah, so we were not all the way there. We could have gotten that if we had wanted to waste some efficiency. We could have reinitialized our spice booster. I don't know. I don't think that's a great play, personally. Where would we settle here? Because I was assuming it was right there, but maybe it's actually one of these 2 tiles. I guess they're very similar, right? It may as well just not walk as far. Yeah, we'll just put down directly on top of the Mutant Marsh. So let's make ourselves one of these. Put it right there, and then we have 6 turns to pick up some stuff. That's pretty good. The next... Wait, where is that pointed? Oh, it's all the way down at the very bottom of the map. That's inconvenient. And the prize for that one is 15 titanium, and then the final part of Lust for Loot is always 2 prize packs. So pretty good to have. I don't know how feasible that's going to be. Actually, do I want to move really early in the turn? I think I don't. I think I want to let them move first. So we have the resources necessary to attempt an industrial megapole. And we actually have enough population in the city to probably pull it off. There's a conflux there. It is... Is it the triangle? It is. It's a movement conflux. Okay, well. We'll probably do like this and here next turn and then grab that, and that'll let us run around with this guy pretty effectively. Can we see a useful conflux anywhere? No, not really. There just weren't very many. Generated kind of a sparse group of them this time. I probably want this public library. But the industrial megapole can be very, very useful. We would want to pull people off of food to build it, which is kind of a downside, because, like, obviously that city staying food focused would be good. Really, to keep both of our cities food focused if we can. Just need to have a lot of people. And then there's also, like, what if we just went for a settler instead? Like, we've gotten a pretty good benefit out of our husbandry center, and we will continue to, but I probably want to settle this, right? And then after I get this, I probably want to settle Masan, and then we probably want to come down here and get Skathalm, or maybe it's the other order, maybe we do this, and then that, because this is not, as far as we can tell, adjacent to another player, so it's not really at risk of getting grabbed. if we wanted to put out a settler right now, it would be 4 turns. And then we could have them grab that movement conflux if we don't have our sentinel get it. And they'd be able to make it to wherever we want to put them pretty quickly. You know, we're just taking them to here, though. They don't need the conflux. It's not that far. Yeah, maybe we just do that. Does that go before the public library? Probably not. If we were to jump onto industry here. 3 turns. We'd put the city down on like turn 22? 23, probably. That gives us... The cities are all like close together. They're able to defend each other. They won't be able to like send garrison into battle with each other's garrisons, but they'll be close enough to like move units to and from them quickly. I kind of think I want to go for that fast expand. Maybe what we do here is we finish 1 more point of population, let the glass steel extractor finish, use that extra point of population to push the settler out as fast as possible, and just not worry about the megapole. If we have a look here... Alright, so the person in the first seat wins ties. I have no idea whether it's the person in the first position or the player who wins progress ties, but the fact that it's showing us that we are rank 1 when we have 0 progress on it means that everybody else also has 0 progress. If we mouse over this, we're rank 2 here, that means 1 other player is working on it. Yeah, it's a slow build. If we move everybody over to industry, it would be 15 turns. But not really 15 turns, because we're going to have some population growth. Would be nice to build. But it really is it's gonna kill our population. Yeah, let's not go after it. It's 25 points of industry. And if we move people off of industry for a long time to get it done, then we're sacrificing a bunch of population, and that population may well be worth more than the 25 points of industry. I guess it's not totally true that it's 25 points of industry, though, right? It's 25 points of industry plus the extra exploitation tiles, which are pretty good for us, it turns out. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm very torn on this. It's also going to make it harder to get that next region, although we could just build the settler here. And not even that much more slowly. We'll food focus for 1 turn, and then we'll move over as many people as we can. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's try it. So if we take these out... Really, am I not allowed to... Oh, I'm not allowed to build it on top of the extractor that is currently being built. And if I'd been thinking about this ahead of time, I would have not built the extractor at all. But there's no reason to finish this extractor if we're going for this, except that if I kill the extractor, lose the progress, and then go for the megapole and we don't get it, then I still won't have my extractor up, which I guess is a little embarrassing. But it's not a big deal. And we didn't really waste a ton of industry time. This is like 1 turn of lost industry. Yeah, that's embarrassing, but I think the right play actually is remove this. Just build the industrial megapole on top of it, so we get all of the production toward this turn instead of spending more on the glass steel extractor. And when the megapole is built, it creates the extractor for free anyway. We will... How many people do I have to leave on food to get the 1 turn population point? It is, in fact, everyone. Okay. We'll get 1 more point of population, and then we'll industry focus. And hopefully this doesn't kill us. The green doesn't necessarily need to expand into us. They have lots of other room. We're not trapping them against the edge of the continent or anything. So probably... They don't have to come after us. That doesn't mean they won't, but they don't have to. Alright, let's see what happens here. So we get another 90 dust, which is awesome. We're going to get that next turn. Over here, we let these guys tire themselves out before we make our move. And of course, they do that in a way that's extremely frustrating. Stopping dead between me and that ruin. Okay, purple has destroyed 10 armies, which is a little worrying. I was really hoping that was going to be a temple ruin. And instead, it was empty. Pretty awesome. That temple ruin got searched already. How many turns left? 1. Alright, I think the play is we run in here, because this will mean these guys probably don't attack us, and then we can unhook Makani Che. How many turns do we have left on Lust for Loot? 6? We're not going to get it. So I probably don't even go after this then. We just unhook Makani Che and spawn her down here. She's not going to really... I guess we could just put Makani Che on this guy at the beginning of the turn, or before he moves. And that way, Makani Che gets to be part of all of these ruin searches over here. It's good XP. So then we want to move as little as possible, and just accept that we're going to get into a fight. Honestly, we probably win that fight. Okay. We got no Empire plan, which is fine. That was the plan. Working on this settler as fast as possible. Not bad, actually. 12 turns. I think it'll be worth it. I think. Alright, so let's do this fight. I'm pretty sure we win this. They have ranged units, which is a little awkward for me, but we have Makani Che, who is a total slayer. So you just run to here, and you run to there and let that guy have it. This is probably a one-hit kill. Ah, not quite. I guess the smart version of this actually is we trade, right? Shame our hero doesn't have circular attack. Alright, this should result in both of them dead this turn. I was hoping that the Stone Sentinel would have enough damage to finish the job last turn. Wow, that was 16 XP. That's kind of crazy. Alright, then we want to warp you over here because we don't want to use any more of your movement before going to grab this. Okay, well, when we get Mercenary Market, we will definitely be able to afford a new hero immediately. Another 75. Is that the health regen one? It is. That would be lovely to have, actually. I could really use a little bit of that health regen. Okay, and remember, we get more effect from the confluxes than most people do, so we're really regenning. Okay, so one of the downsides of meeting Pink, now that we know who Pink is that Pink can ban us from the market. That would be not great. That would be not a great thing to happen. We actually have so much dust that we can just buy governors for both of our currently existing cities, probably, depending on the yields of the 2 remaining ruins over here. Because I think we're probably going to see like low 300 hero cost at this point in the game. Because we still have this search to do too, although it's not an Eclipse search, so it won't be terribly valuable. Yeah, I think we're in good shape here. If we get this Megapole, I will feel very confident about our ability to build a defensive force. So, do we want to go meet Pink? I think the risk of them banning us from the market is lower than the chance of us being able to make some friendship with them out of fighting green. And also there's value in just knowing what is happening in the world. The vision we get of the diplomatic relationship between these two will be meaningful. Let's go grab this ruin and then get out of here before the Rumblers attack us. Although we might be okay if they did. 10 more titanium and another level for Makani. Headed toward that point of morale pretty quickly. Alright, another big boost of dust. I'm feeling, like, really good about our situation here. No, we are nowhere near rushing that. It was worth a look. So I think we definitely want to commit to diving deep into Pink's territory over here. What do we want to do with our hero army? We could reach that. We want to be paying attention to this side, because this guy... It'd be really great if we could do this without getting attacked. Oh, there's an army. Run away. Over here, we've gotten ourselves even more dust, it turns out. Okay, yeah, we didn't do that quest. That's fine. Got some glass, steel, and silence from one of the... Or science from one of those searches. We are 2 to 22 turns from winter. We know that it's not actually possible for it to be 2, because there always is one turn of summer between, at least, one turn of summer between the end of the eclipse and the beginning of winter. So I'm a little torn on whether we want to reactivate this. We know we'll get at least 3 turns of good spices out of it, but when we lose food due to winter, the effectiveness of this booster will be slightly reduced. We need it to remain fervent. Okay, in that case we're... No, we don't. It's already ended, and we're still fervent. Yeah, I don't know. We might... What do we want to do with you next? I want to, like, look around a little bit more over here, since I'm abandoning Lust for Loot on account of it being very dangerous to complete, and also not that rewarding, possibly. We definitely want to get this settler out and get headed in this direction. I do like being able to walk inside of my own territory almost the entire way to the new settling point. And then, like, we probably get back on food and get some more basic science stuff completed. Geomic Labs would only be 6 points of science in this city, so we definitely want to go library over that. And let's have a quick look at the hero marketplace. So, yeah, low 300s, we have 840 dust. So I see an Exit the Chosen. Putting Exit the Chosen down in the capital will immediately make us faster at completing the wonder. We could grab Soyala Tocho, who has Industry Boost 2, which is different than Industry Efficiency 2. At this point, Industry Boost 2 is worth 4 industry per hero level. So it's worth 4 plus 1%. That is less immediately valuable than Industry Efficiency, and I like the Cultist hero better. We also have access to a Takari Mu, who does not have any governing capacities. Expansion support. I believe all expansion support does is it lowers the expansion disapproval penalty. It's not super good. Science boost 1. Influence boost 3. We would like more influence. Syria Alastra has dust efficiency. Shaman Rawiri has no governing capacities. Man, if we could get a Kapaku governor who had any governing capacities at all. Semsen and Wana is food and influence, and a little bit more food on rivers. We don't have any rivers. We have lava, which is not the same thing. Kaspasar only has influence boost 1, so it's probably like food boost 2 on you. Unfortunately, the Kapaku faction tree doesn't have a lot of good governor skills in it. You can reduce the pearl cost of buildings, which is way more relevant for the Kapaku who make their burrows out of pearls than it is for anybody else. So it's like, it's Exit the Chosen for sure. And then Also, Soyala Tocho or like Simsan and Wana is definitely an option. Food Boost 2, Influence Boost 3 is pretty powerful. One thing I do like about Soyala Tocho is that in addition to all of the Wild Walker industry boosting skills, Industry Boost will still be functional while we are food focused in the city, whereas the industry efficiency we're getting from Exid will not. So for right now, I think we're going to take Soyala Tocho. For right now, we're going to put Exid in the capital. Which has, yeah, taken turns off of the Megapole immediately. I'm going to throw Soyala Tocho down here. But we might swap them after the Megapole is completed, because this city will want to go back to being food-focused because of the Husbandry Center. And the industry efficiency will not be super valuable. So am I going to refire this? I think so. The extra food early, even if we do only get 3 turns at full value, and then 7 turns at reduced value, the earlier you get the food, the more valuable it is. And you guys... yeah, I think a refocus on food is sensible. Could we keep the single turn birth? No. If we move anybody over, we lose it. Okay. Generate engine power, then. So I think this might be a good place to stop for the moment. I guess we have a technology choice to make here. We are 1 tech away from moving up. We do have a luxury resource in our home region, don't we? No. For some reason I was thinking we had a dye deposit, but we totally don't. There's no... there might be a luxury deposit in here. We don't actually know for sure. And here we just have emeralds. So open pit mine is not looking super good. We could grab... sewers. It's not terrible. We don't need aquapulvistics. Honestly, sewers probably makes the most sense. I don't think the Geomancer is a very good unit. We could get pillage. If we're planning to go to war with green sometime soon, pillage could totally be useful. But no, I think sewer system is the right move. Alright, we need science pretty badly. We're researching a little bit on the slow side here. We don't have a public library in this city yet, and we do have the... excuse me, we do have the dust to just immediately correct that, because we've done very well on these ruin searches. And we don't, I think, have any chance... I guess there's 2 turns left in the Dust Eclipse. I'm wondering if there's a chance for us to find enough unsearched Eclipse ruins that we could purchase the 3rd hero. Because it would be cool to have 3 cities with 3 governors. It's probably the case that we should just buy the public library. You know what? I'll think about this a little bit. We can decide that when we come back. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I think this is a pretty promising start. Come back next time to see if we can leverage it successfully, and we'll see you then.